All right, let's pull back the curtain on one of the most powerful tools in all of networking, the Cisco command line interface. I know it might just look like a black screen with some text, but trust me, this is the real control center. This is where networks are actually built, managed, and brought to life. So let's dive in.
So, take a look at these two screens. On the left, you've got something we all know, a graphical interface. You point, you click, you're done. Easy. On the right, you've just got a simple command prompt. Now, you'd be forgiven for thinking the graphical one is more powerful. But in the world of networking, all the real fine-tuned control comes from the command line. This is where you get to be precise, fast, and even automate things once you know the language.
So what exactly is a command line interface, or CLI, anyway? Well, think of it like having a direct conversation with the device itself. You type a command, it responds. It's that simple. And for Cisco gear, this isn't just some secondary option. It's the main way network engineers configure pretty much everything, from the simplest settings to the really complex rules that make the internet work.
Now, getting into the CLI isn't just a single step. You should think of it kind of like a secure building that has different levels of clearance. You can't just walk right into the most important room, right? You have to pass through different security checks first. Well, the CLI works the exact same way with its different levels of access. You'll always start out in what's called User EXEC mode. Think of this as the lobby. From there, to get more power, you escalate to privileged EXEC mode. That's like getting the keycard to all the important areas. And then to actually change anything, you enter global configuration mode, the real command center. Now pay close attention to the prompt at the end of the line. See how it changes? It goes from that greater than sign to a hash mark. That little symbol is always telling you exactly how much power you have.
Let's break down those first two levels a bit more. User mode? Yeah, that's strictly look but don't touch territory. You can run a few basic checks, see what's going on, but you can't actually change the configuration. But once you type the command enable and get into privileged mode, well, everything changes. You now have the keys to the kingdom. You can see everything, manage everything, and reconfigure the entire device. That one word, enable, is your gateway to full control.
You know, learning the CLI is a lot like learning a new language. It's got its own vocabulary, its own syntax, its own rules. But here's the really good news. It comes with this fantastic built-in toolkit that's designed to help you become fluent without having to memorize a giant dictionary.
Your single most important tool is just one key on your keyboard, the question mark. I'm not kidding. At any point, if you're stuck, if you're not sure what to type next, just hit the question mark. The CLI will immediately show you a list of every possible command you can use right from where you are. It's like having a context-sensitive cheat sheet built right in, and it's going to be your best friend while you're learning. And here's another total lifesaver, the tab key. Just start typing the first few letters of a command, hit tab, and boom, the system finishes it for you. This isn't just about being faster, it's about being accurate. It completely eliminates typos in those long, complicated commands. You'll be using this one constantly.
Look, you're going to make mistakes. We all do. And that is totally okay. Because in the CLI, even the errors are designed to help you out. If you see a message like ambiguous command, it doesn't mean you failed. It just means you're close. The system is basically saying, hey, I know a few commands that start with those letters. Can you just be a little more specific for me? It's not a stop sign. It's a helpful guide.
Okay, enough theory, right? Let's actually apply what we've learned and make our very first change to this device. We're going to do one of the most fundamental security tasks there is, setting a password to protect that all-powerful privileged mode.
To make any kind of change, we first have to enter the workshop. And in the CLI, that's global configuration mode. The command is configure terminal. But honestly, everyone just uses the shortcut conf-t. And notice the prompt changes again. Now it says config hash. That's our signal that we're ready to start modifying the device.
So, once we're inside config mode, we use the command enable password, and then just follow it with whatever password we want to set. This command is basically telling the router, hey, from now on, don't let anyone into privileged mode unless they can give you this exact password. It's that simple.
Now, a couple of quick but really crucial pro tips here. First, passwords are case sensitive. So password with a capital P is totally different from password with a lowercase p. Second, and this trips up everybody at first, when you type your password, you won't see anything. The cursor won't move, no stars, nothing. That's not a bug. It's a security feature, so someone can't just look over your shoulder and see how long your password is.
And here it is, the proof that our change actually worked. After we set the password, we exit back out and we try to use the enable command again. But this time, bam, we're stopped. We're prompted for a password. Success. We've just secured the keys to the kingdom.
We made a change. We tested it. It works. We should be done, right? Nope. We are not done yet. There is one final, absolutely critical step. Because if you were to reboot the device right now, your new password would just vanish. We have to make our change permanent.
To get why this is so important, you need to know that every Cisco device basically has two main configuration files. There's the running config, which is what's active and live right now, but it's temporary. Then there's the startup config. That's the saved version that the device loads up every single time it boots. Right now, our new password only exists in that temporary running config.
Honestly, the absolute best way to think about this is to compare it to your computer. The running config is like your system's RAM. It's super fast, it's active, but it's volatile. You lose power, everything in it is gone. The startup config is the hard drive. It's the permanent storage. So to make a change stick around, you have to explicitly save your work from that temporary memory to the permanent hard drive.
And you can always check what's in both of these files. The command show running config will show you what's live right now, and show startup config will show you what's been saved. And when you're finally ready to make your changes permanent, you use a command like copy running config startup config, which does exactly what it says. It copies the live version over the saved version. And that's it. That's your introduction to the fundamentals of the Cisco CLI. We've gone from a simple, blinking cursor to understanding access levels, using the built-in help, and making a real, permanent security change. See, this isn't just a black box with text. It's the environment that gives you direct, unfiltered control over your network. The only question left is, what will you command?